Now, moving on from that, now we have quite an interesting topic to talk about this morning coming up next. We have, let me start up with some kind of start. Now, a recent start of survey has shown that the prevalence of negligence, medical negligence, is at 42.8% per 145 medical practitioners. Now, that's talking about medical negligence, has become a growing menace in our society. To discuss more on this, we have Adanma Odefa, the CEO of Diverse Health Help Society. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Thank you, Mike. It's good to be here.
And you see, I always say something that, look, after deity, the next thing are medical practitioners. Absolutely. Because I feel like, look, I don't feel society cannot function without medical practitioners. So they are revered in a large way in my own eyes. But then medical negligence on the part of practitioners is something that, based on the stat I just read out, has been on the rise.
Absolutely.
You know, talk to us about that. How come where this starts and all of that? How do we come about them, and how is it so that this medical negligence is on the rise?
Yes, it's on the rise because most times there are no consequences. And the reason why I'm doing all this effort and making all this advocacy for medical negligence is because for the first time in the history of Nigeria, a medical doctor has actually been convicted of medical negligence. He's been found guilty of criminal medical negligence. This has never happened before in Nigeria. And I'm going to give you the backstory.
Okay.
So what happened was that this 16-year-old kid was playing basketball. He fell and got a fracture on his knee. And then he went to Excel Medical Center. And the medical director, who is actually a medical doctor of Excel Medical Center, Dr. Ferdinand Orji, sedated him, and then made the coach and the police orderly who accompanied the child pull the limb in opposite direction. Then he applied a fiberglass cast from his thigh all the way to his toes. Now then sent the boy to another facility to do an x-ray. So the boy came to and was in excruciating pain. So the mother of the boy calls the doctor, who has even left, didn't even wait for the x-ray, and says, this child is in excruciating pain. He says, oh, ignore the pain and forget about it. Now, this is very dangerous because Orthopedic 101, medical school orthopedic, will tell you that once there's a cast and it's tight and there's pain and discomfort, you need to take it off immediately because something called compartment syndrome will set in about 4 hours. But this man is not an orthopedic surgeon. He's not an orthopedic surgeon. He didn't know this. And he didn't refer the child. He didn't ask for help. So he just said, ignore the pain. So they take the child home and bring him back the following day in excruciating pain. Now, this man makes a window at the back of the cast. Instead of taking the cast off, he makes a window. Mother begs, please take the cast off. He says no. He's a pair of his classmate, who is the boy's uncle, practicing medicine elsewhere, that had seen the x-ray result and consulted with his pair, said, take the cast off, there's no need for this cast. He says no, he refuses, and then makes the window and sends the boy back home. Now, the leg starts oozing liquid, and they bring the boy back to him the following day again, and he just takes off part of the cast and admits the boy, and still refuses to take the cast off. So when this thing got out of hand, they now took the boy to another facility, and he had to undergo a total of 15 surgeries because by then the compartment syndrome had set in. Remember, I said it takes only 4 hours, and it's due to occlusion of blood to the leg, basically the leg dying off. Now, they managed to save the boy's leg. He got foot drop, but the boy is now kind of maimed, and he's going to live with that for the rest of his life.
Can I just continue? Isn't this a case of incompetence rather than negligence?
It is negligence.
Okay,
it is so? Negligence. You can call it incompetence too, but it is negligence because he did not take the kind of care that he should.
Or should have referred to somebody.
He should have referred.
Who was more.
And he should have not treated before knowing what he was dealing with. And he should have removed the cast when there was tightness and pain. And now his peers, you know, then the parents of the boy, the mother of the boy sought redress 2 ways. And people in the public, your viewers, can also do that if they think they've been negligently treated by a qualified medical doctor. So what you could do is report to the police if it's criminal, like this woman did.
That is, if you go and you feel that that the person is being negligent.
You went in treating you. Yes, was negligent in treating you.
This is what to do. Okay, let's go back again, please. Rapo can take note.
You can report to the police, like in this case, they reported to the police. You can also report to the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria.
Now, that is one that I feel would have more credence in this case because they would understand. I mean, a policeman might be thinking...
Absolutely. That means you have to do the two.
Okay.
You might do the two. You might want to do the two, or you might want to do only one. But even if you're going to do only one, it has to be the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, because what they would do is that the investigation panel
How
will
do we do it? Before we get to what they do, how do we report? What is the process like?
Okay, you have to go to court and do an affidavit.
Okay.
Take an affidavit with the Commissioner of Oath. Okay. That is if you don't have a lot of money, because it's cheaper, it's government. That if you have a lot of money and you want something a bit more tailored, you can go to a notary public, but there must be a sworn affidavit stating the facts of the case to report, addressed to the secretary of the investigation panel.
We will pick up at this point. You're going through pain, or you're feeling something. Going to the court, wouldn't this... time is going. Like you said...
Well, first of all, you have to be rescued. First of all, you have to be rescued. Like in this child's case, remember, after 2 days of toying with the child and keeping the child, the family of the child moved the child to another facility. Okay. And that was where he started the process of the 15 surgeries that ultimately became 15 surgeries. Okay. So first, of course, you have to save the life and take care of whatever is going on. Then you have to address the negligence. Okay, so now, so now, before you address it, now, like you said, the affidavit and all of that, I'm saying that in that scenario, I've met this doctor. She's not, or he's not giving me the particular, or I feel this person is being negligent. At that moment. And I suffered harm.
And I suffer at that moment where I'm feeling the pain, or even without, before even feeling the pain, I have the feeling. At that moment, before I go to the affidavit, is there anybody
opinion.
I can...
Get a second opinion.
Get a second opinion.
Second opinion and save whatever the situation is.
Is there any way I can contact this board first, without the affidavit?
You have to do an affidavit, and you have to do it to the secretary of the investigation panel. Okay. Now, don't forget, these people are not coming in to save the situation. They are coming in to address the negligence. Okay, so you say you work towards saving the situation by getting a second opinion before you address somewhere else. Yes, before you address the negligence. Okay. So in this case, they reported to the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, and a 15-man panel of doctors sat. So I'm coming back to answer your question. Yes. 15-man panel of doctors sat, including orthopedic specialists, because this was an orthopedic case. If it was a gynecology case, gynecology specialist would sit on that panel too, because they have the knowledge. Remember, it's technical, and that's the reason a lot of doctors get away with medical negligence, because you need other doctors. You need
they kind of put their hands into areas where they are not specialized.
Yes.
That's where it comes in the post from what
So they investigated, they called witnesses, they called the accused person himself, a full panel, and 15 of them unanimously agreed that Dr. Ferdinand Orji was medically negligent. Okay. And afterwards, they suspended his license.
This is the first time this is ever happening?
No, not the MDCN. The first time that it's ever happening is the criminal negligence. The courts, the Lagos State justice system, and kudos to Lagos, you're really the center of excellence. The Lagos State justice system tried him on 6 counts and found him guilty on 4 counts, sentenced him to 1 year in prison for each of the counts, and then to run concurrently. Now, he went to prison for 3 months and came out on medical basis. Okay. And then what he did next is the shocker. Okay. He took a video of himself dancing out of prison and sourced the victim's father and sent him the video. And that was devastating. So, but now the important thing is that Dr. Ferdinand Orji cannot practice medicine anymore. So says the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. They've withdrawn his license. If he treats anybody, they should run like crazy and report to the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria or to the police. And in addition, he is now a convicted felon. He's a convicted felon.
Wonderful, wonderful. I wish we had more time to talk about this. Yes. Let's leave with this. Social media or anywhere, because I think that's an easy way for people to get in contact. Yes. How do we get in contact with the board, maybe, or you on social media?
Okay, you can reach me on at Odefa on Instagram. Okay. I'm also on Facebook as Adanma Odefa. Okay. Any of those means, or they can even reach your show, and then you reach me if they need help and guidance with this. Because, you know, I'm sure you may have someone in your family or your circle who has suffered medical negligence. Even in this country, there's actually everybody, practically everybody is affected there must be someone who has suffered. And if the system begins to stand up for the patients the way they did in this case and stood up for this little kid and brought the hammer down upon Dr. Ferdinand Orji, then doctors will be more careful. We're not going after doctors. We love them. There are a lot of fantastic doctors out there. Right. But there are a lot of other doctors too who can't be bothered to take as much care as they should.
Thank you so much. This has been expository, and like you said, we'll get to you when these things happen on social media and all of that, because there's quite a lot of more questions people would have to ask. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, that's it. I hope you're able to get something. We'll bombard our social media handle, because like she said, at least one person, you know somebody, maybe your family or friend, that has been a victim of medical negligence. That's it on this discussion. We'll take a time and I'll stay with us. Our final guest will be back after this.